Auric horn, mystery and theory. Part 1. Introduction to the horn. What is the Auric horn? Well, this is the Auric horn, carefully manufactured to the finest standards. This one is a fetching shade of pink with notes of pearl metallic and a charming orange. Each one, however, is unique in appearance, but at the same time they have a lot in common functionally. All Auric horns have very similar capacities with some power differences. In short, the horn senses and works with the most mysterious force, the energy field of human animals and assorted other types of being. Here we see some further images of the horn as it might be held and handled. What, however, is the energy field? That is a very big question and one I won't answer. It's a theoretical hot potato that will only inflame listeners. The shorter answer? Just a big thing with a lot of power. Now we turn to something dear to all our hearts. What does the Auric horn do? Be patient and I'll let you know. The horn, this and others, has several key functions as set out in this slide. That is, it can be used for listening, amplifying, agitating and cogitating, as well as participation of an emotional response. Let's look at these in more details. You'll see the various functions illustrated in colourful slides. First, the Auric horn can be used to listen to your energy and that of others. Press the little end to your ear or psychic inner ear and point the big business end to whatever you want to understand better. Then sit very still for some minutes. The exact number will be up to you and the mysterious circumstances of how things are until things start to emerge. You are advised to write down your findings as they are liable to vanish and remain unavailable to memory and reflection. Be careful with the energies of others. If poisonous or manipulative, they might shoot into your psyche and create a great big mess. Or if more full of joy, you might become over-attached to the other to whom you listen. More of this in later episodes, if I feel up to it, or it matters take it out of one. Next, you can use the Auric horn to amplify your energy and that of others. In this case, you press the little end to the energy mode and the big end is waved in the general direction of where you want the energy to go. Like, if you want to zone in on your belly area, which is your forceful self and action, point the little end there, as demonstrated in the picture, and wave the big end about. This will send yourself and desires into the world. Who knows what might come back? We will go into more detail of this and other functions in later videos. Again, exercise great care with this. Like before, but even more so, be careful what you amplify from yourself. You don't necessarily want your unsuitable lusts taking form and acting in the bigger world, nor do you want your tears spread all about your place of work. Be even more careful with the energy of others. I could, but I won't explain how problematic this could be. Handle with care. Third, you can use the horn to stir things up. 9 times out of 10, this won't be a good idea, so I won't dwell on this one. The only circumstance I can imagine in which those new to the horn might want to agitate is if they need to draw on a reserve of energy that isn't there, like busy mums and top executives faced with a heavy day after little sleep. And even then, you are just stealing energy from somewhere else it's better employed, so watch out. I won't go on about this. Let's move on. Next, you could use your horn for improving cogitations. That is, using the horn will help you better understand it. But having said that, that's something you shouldn't really need to do at beginner's level, which you are, because I've only just invented this, and in that sense we're all beginners, except for myself, as I'm in a special condition and contain within me all knowledge of this horn, even the bits I don't know about. For other, less special people, such as yourselves, don't fuss too much about the cognition function activated by a special switch located at the back of the horn. It won't help your learning and in fact will make you worse. You have been warned. The final function we are going to deal with now, for there are advanced functions we obviously don't want to look at here, is the emotional function. By using the horn from the part where the emotion is felt, pointing the little end at it, you can directly influence the emotional tone of your surroundings. Useful when you are feeling hard done by and you want a bit of sympathy. Although in time you will use more subtlety for the public and greater good. It is also useful if you want a loved one to understand your point of view. This function is another case of be careful what you wish for, though. I will say no more. All in all, a multifunctional, very useful horn, a great piece of kit. So far, I have given you a bit of an idea of the powerful uses the horn can be put to. Of course, these informations are for beginners. The horn is capable of so much more than you can know and understand at the present moment. Suffice it to say, you have been given information pertaining to your current needs. More might well follow if you have the strength and capacity to grow into the horn. Now, I look briefly at some cautions and do not do's. This is only a brief list and not exhaustive. Proceed with care. First, the horn should be used by the certified only. It's not for wavings about by enthusiastic amateurs, no matter how enticing that might be. How do you obtain a certificate? Patience, I will hint at the process as this series of videos progresses. It demands a lot from your dedication and your financial resources is all I'll say now. Second, even for the certified, the horn should be used with care. Do not point, wave, bedevil or act carelessly with your horn. Make sure you and the horn are clean, fresh and scrumptious before each use. Place it back in its horn-locked box after each use. Do not use while intoxicated or when operating machinery, no matter how tempting. Third, do not overuse your horn. Overuse of your horn will wear you out and more importantly wear the horn out and make it both weak and misfunctioning. That's not what you want, trust me. What do I mean by overuse? Well, not allowing an adequate rest period of a few to several days between use. Exercise horn hygiene and good practice. Fourth, never under any circumstances neglect your horn. It has needs and desires just as you do. What does it need and desire? Well, to a large extent, that will depend on the individual horn. You need to get to know your horn and what it wants. I will give you an example, but don't run with it as it is just an example. My horn requires a daily dust down with a soft brush. It needs to be wrapped in soft cloth and prefers indigo-coloured velvet. It doesn't like to be kept near other people, functioning best if allowed long rest periods in a dark cupboard. In hot weather, it likes 20 minutes in the fridge to cool down. It has other needs, which I won't bore you with. Finally, your horn should never be used for ill gains, e.g., you shouldn't use it to predict the lottery results, to steal things off other people, to do others down, or to promote yourself and well-being over that of others. Well, that's just common sense. You don't need me to tell you that. How can I get an Auric horn? If you watch the rest of my series of videos, not yet finished and likely to increase in number considerably, you'll get a better idea of how to get a horn for yourself. As I've hinted at above, this is a time-consuming procedure that's both demanding of your internal strength and resources and also heavy on your wallet. It's neither cheap nor easy, but I feel ultimately rewarding. After all, you'll be left at the end of it with your own horn and even better, the knowledge of how to make it work for you. Your own horn, should you obtain it, will be fully luscious, made by hand to the highest craft and industrial standards, and individually finished in an appropriate colourway. It will be infused with a specially designed Auric oil and filled full of a strong intention. The horn is available only from myself after a process of initiation into the language, management, everyday care and advanced functionality of the horn, as well as a solid theoretical grounding. You can start by watching the rest of this video series when I make them and at my constant whim. Here you see illustrated some of the potential future videos in this series. When I do make them, these are likely to be the other episodes, or rather some of them. We will see. The list is self-explanatory, but in the established tradition of presentations, I will read it to you anyway, deviating from what is written in a potentially confusing way. That is, you are watching part 1, the introduction. It's nearly over actually. Next, I will go into more details about the use of the horn, digging deep into various aspects vis-a-vis listening to the personal energy fields of oneself, the ebbs and flows of the energy there, and the various waves and tropics you might encounter. You will find out about your own patterns and potentials. After that, I will explain how to listen to others and to the outside world with your horn, with some tips for protection and keeping yourselves clear and clean and generally free from harmful contamination. In a following episode, I will show you how to funnel your own energy outside. A useful tool like a shovel serves a gardener or a frying pan serves a chef, and also how to focus that energy and not have it running around free like a willy-nilly cockeyed dog. Then, in a later episode, I'll look at funneling outside energies for exterior purposes, like making sure trains run on time, but not when you are late to catch one, where I'll show you how to hold them up a bit. In later episodes, I will cover other stuff I've not yet thought of, but which will probably include cautions and some cautionary tales and how to get your own horn. I've no idea really. The clear numbered list above does sound like I have it all planned out, but by the time I get to number 4, 5 and 6, I don't have a clue. My guess is a bit better than yours, but not that much. And that's it. It's the end. Until next time.